Every bed here, we should generate $1,000 of value if everything goes the way it's supposed to.
Hold on. Back that up. Let's hear it again.
Every bed here, we should generate $1,000 of value if everything goes the way it's supposed to.
$1,000 per bed. 20 years ago, Ben Hartman started on a 1,000-acre corn and soybean farm. Then he started market gardening on 2 acres. Today, he farms on 15,000 square feet. That's just a third of an acre. And he just told me each bed that he farms makes $1,000. Let's figure out how. I'm Diego, D-I-E-G-O. Welcome to Modern Grower, where we talk about running a profitable farm business. Let's get into it. Ben Hartman is a legend in the market gardening space. He's written several books, and he's going into his 20th growing season. Back in 2015, he wrote a book called The Lean Farm. It's a book that changed how a lot of people on this channel think about farming as a business. But here's what most people miss about Ben's story. He didn't get bigger every year. I think a lot of people associate successful farms with growing. Well, his farm grew in terms of success and revenue, but the area he was farming, it got smaller, and he made more money doing it. That's not how farming is supposed to work. The whole cultural script says, add land, add tractors, add crops, add accounts, add staff, more. But Ben heard that script his whole life.
It's in the milieu, it's in the cultural milieu that you have to get bigger every year and do more, especially in farming. Where I grew up, you had to buy a bigger tractor every year, put up more grain bins, expand the amount of land, rent more land or buy more land, put more seeds in the ground and sell more. And that's how you stay in business. And I think that mindset continues and trickles down even to the small scale grower.
That mindset trickles down even to farms that are already small. Here's why that matters more now than it has in a long time. When Ben started, greens sold for $10 a pound at a labor cost of $7.50 an hour. Labor was under the price of the product on a per pound basis. Today, greens sell for $14 a pound, and Ben pays his staff $20 an hour. Labor is now higher than the price of the product. That gap doesn't close by getting bigger. The gap closes by getting smarter. I've seen this firsthand operating Modern Grower. You go back 2 years, we had probably double the amount of products for sale that we do now, and we made less total money doing it. Over the past 2 years, I've removed a lot of products from our product catalog, and we've become a more profitable business as a result. This just goes to show bigger isn't always better. More isn't always more of the thing you want, which is money in the bank. Back to Ben. How does his farm get smaller and make more money? It started with a question that Ben learned from a friend of his, a guy named Jim Womack, who taught at MIT and wrote a book on lean production after studying Toyota.
I'll quote my friend Jim Womack, who's a professor at MIT. And he did some of the original research on lean. And he took a team of researchers over to Toyota a couple decades ago and really wrote the source book on lean production. And he said, really all lean boils down to is this. You started with the customer and you work backwards from there. You start with the customer, work backwards from there. And 99% of businesses don't start with the customer. They start with their own interests. They start with a seed catalog. What are you interested in? And work up to the customer.
They start with a seed catalog. How many farmers do you know who plan their entire season from a seed catalog? Or from the crops they want to grow, what seems cool to grow, what sounds fun, what somebody else is doing? A lot. How many actually plan it from a chef's order sheet? Hint? No. And that's the flip that Ben made. Toyota had been working for decades to get their suppliers to deliver bumpers within hours of the cars being built. Not the same week, not the same day, hours. Ben took that idea and dropped it straight into the market garden.
And so I'll just tell you with the Goshen Brewing Company, Jesse, the head chef, he's going to be working until 1 o'clock in the morning, sleeps till mid-morning or later. He doesn't want me showing up at 10 o'clock in the morning with his produce. And yet they're going to have a rush of people in there at 5 o'clock or 6 o'clock. So optimum for him would be in a window about 2 o'clock to 4 o'clock in the afternoon. He's got prep staff in the restaurant, and that's a great time for me to roll in with 100 pounds of tomatoes. His staff can get them prepped, and they're all ready by their 5 o'clock window, and they're not sitting around for a couple of days ahead of time. You don't have to store the tomatoes. We deliver 2 or 3 times a week, smaller amounts, more frequent deliveries. So all of this adds incredible value for them.
2 to 4 p.m., not just same day, a 2-hour window. That's not farming, that's logistics. And that's the kind of service that a Sysco truck cannot give a local chef. If I look back at what I've done with Modern Grower when we had more products, that meant we had to be experts in more products, which made it harder to help customers make smart buying decisions. Now that we have less products, when customers reach out, we can dedicate a lot of time and resources to helping them make the best decision possible before they purchase. And that is a direct result of carrying less product. We benefited and the customer benefits by buying something that they know will work, or we tell them, hey, this won't work for you. And it's only possible by having less so we can focus on the customer more. Back to Ben. Once he flipped that switch, everything downstream had to change. His crop list, his customer list, how he priced his time, what he refused to grow. And the framework he used to do all of that is something that every grower has heard of. Most farmers just don't apply it the way that Ben does. It's the Pareto principle, 80-20. 20% of your crops generate 80% of your revenue. 20% of your customers generate 80% of your sales. Ben asked one question that most farmers don't ask. Where do those two circles overlap? That overlap is what Pareto called the vital core. For Ben, that vital core are 4 crops and 4 accounts. Thai basil, cilantro, heritage tomatoes, and spring mix. A pizza place, a brewery, a co-op, and a few other key customers. That's it. That is the business.
If you can discipline yourself to focus on your top 20% of your crops, and if you can focus on the top 20%, your accounts, you have what Pareto called a vital core. Okay, and that vital core of your business, where you have 8 margin crops selling to vital customers, if you can discipline yourself to stay in that narrow lane, that's a powerful recipe to be in business for a long time.
Stay in the narrow lane. And once Ben knew that lane, he built a tool to keep himself in it. Every winter, Ben sits down with each one of his chefs. He brings a 1-page sheet with crops listed down the left side and asks 3 questions for every crop. What do you want? When do you want it? And how much? That's not a survey, that's a contract for the season. And the reason Ben can promise 27 pounds of cilantro a week and never shorten an order, because the chef told him in January exactly what 27 looked like. Most growers will send their customers a list of what they're growing. The best growers ask their customers what they want them to grow. We're talking 2 different questions, 2 different business models. As a company, I apply this directly. I've shifted from selling and stocking what I think customers want to stocking and selling what I know customers want because they've asked for it time and time and again. So instead of me guessing, I let the customer tell me what to sell. And as a farmer, you can do the exact same thing. The downsize and concentrate plan isn't just something exclusive to Ben Hartman. After interviewing hundreds of farmers on the podcast, I see it again and again. There's a no man's land in market farming. It's not the small farms that struggle the most, it's the middle-sized ones. Liz Calvage said it to me on this show. 8 to 10 acres of mixed vegetable farms are where she watched 3 of her former employees burn out and quit. Same prices as a small farm, more cost than a small farm, no scale advantage of a huge farm. The middle is where small market farms die. The farms that make it tend to sit in one of 2 places. They're either really small and hyper-focused, like Ben, who's just growing on 15,000 square feet, or they're really big, wholesale, big acreage, different game entirely. The middle is the trap. If you only remember one number from this whole video, it's the one I'm about to show you. Okay, so what does redesign actually look like in dollars? Let's run Ben's numbers. 50 beds, each bed flipped twice a year, $500 per flip. That's $1,000 per bed every single year. 50 beds at $1,000 apiece, $50,000 a year off the floor of 15,000 square feet. And that's the floor. Ben's greenhouse beds flip 3 or 4 times, not 2.
Every bed here, we should generate $1,000 of value if everything goes the way it's supposed to, which it never does.
Which it never does. That is the honest part. That number is the target, not the guarantee. And here's what's wild. Ben told me his contribution margin right now is the highest it's ever been. Same product volume he sold for 8 to 10 years, higher margins every single season. He's not making more money by selling more stuff. He's making more by spending less, which brings us to a second number.
If you can shave 5% from your business over 10 years, you've grown your business by a respectable 50%. And who wouldn't want to grow by 50%? And it's a fairly simple thing to do. It just requires discipline and creative thinking and continuous improvement.
5% a year compounded, that's 50% bigger business in a decade without adding land, without adding labor, without adding crops. Ben's example, he doesn't own a walk-in cooler. Hard to believe, but he makes it work. Most market farms think they need one. Ben got rid of his when he moved his farm. He runs a 3-door reach-in with a CoolBot hooked up to it, powered by solar. And that decision has saved him thousands of dollars over 8 years. That's one of his 5%ers. And he has a list of them every year he tries to apply it. Periodically, as a business owner, I try to do this. I pull up QuickBooks, I look at my expenses for, say, the past quarter, and I say, what can I cut? A lot of times there's cost creep, services, subscriptions, things like that you didn't even know you had or you forgot, and you pull them up, look at all the costs, and say, what can I get rid of? And you'd be shocked at the amount of stuff hiding in a income statement that doesn't have to be there. You just have to go in and find it so you can cut it. Let's do a business breakdown. The math. Ben's farm, 50 beds, 15,000 square feet, 2 flips per bed at $500 a flip, $1,000 per bed. That's $50,000 in revenue off the floor before greenhouse rotations are factored in. And his margin keeps going up, not because of his price, but because of his process. The move. This week, take some time and do what most growers never do. Pull up last season's revenue, divide it by the number of beds that you actually farmed. That's your per bed number. If it's under $500 a bed, you don't have a land problem. You have a customer problem, a pricing problem, or a focus problem. Maybe we'll do a future video on deciding which one of those problems you actually have. The mindset. Downsizing isn't shrinking. Downsizing isn't getting worse. It's getting better. It's concentrating. Ben didn't lose a business when he went from 2 acres to a third of an acre. He found one. He took 2 acres of mediocre and turned it into a third of an acre of vital core. Most growers spend their entire career trying to add. The best ones are the ones who learn to subtract. Now use that to go build a farm business, not just a farm. I'll see you in the next one. I'm Diego Diageo. If you enjoyed this video, hit like, hit subscribe, leave a comment below. And until next time, be nice, be thankful, and do the work.